Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you what remains of the Xbox 360 games. 3 years ago today I made an Xbox 360 trade-ins video and I kind of just wanted to do a throwback to that, show you what remains from that trade-in pile, or rather should I say the things that I didn't trade in, and to commemorate 3 years having since made that video. So to start with, in no particular order, I'm just going to pull the first one off the pile, and it is Guilty Gear 2 Overture. I'm not going to lie, I don't really remember a lot about this game. It's a bit different to the Guilty Gear franchise in itself, if I'm right in thinking. So let's clarify. This is the only Guilty Gear game I've ever played, and I don't remember much about it. It's not a fighting game, 2D fighting game like I think the others are. It's kind of a weird strat game. I kept hold of it in the hopes that I would try it again and progress a bit more. Obviously that hasn't happened, but having still got an Xbox 360, there's still time to do that. The second game is Knight's Contract. Now the story behind this goes, I bought this for about, I don't know, £8, £8.99, something really cheap and stupid like that. It was dirt cheap from Zavvi, and I could have got it on the PS3. I'm starting to wish I'd got it on the PS3, because not long before we decided to get rid of all our Xbox 360 games, I played this, and within the first mission, it came to the first boss fight. I can't remember what the boss was. It's some giant behemoth of a monster, and the game either glitched out on me or my controller was buggered. Either way, it was one of those quick time events, you know, you got to press the button when it tells you to, and for whatever reason I know I was pressing this button, whatever button it was, and it just wouldn't do it. I couldn't finish this boss fight for love nor money. I died about 50 times in a row and I just gave up. So again, I had every intention of trying to pursue this game to the very end, but it never happened. And I'm a bit hesitant to buy it on the PS3 in case that just turns out to be a wasted investment. So game number 3 of the pile is Alone in the Dark. I've got a feeling this was actually on the trade-in video, but as you can see we didn't trade it in. Reason being, I actually enjoyed the portions of this game that I played, and I say portions because John's mother actually had this on the Wii and she was enjoying it, but she kept getting stuck on certain parts, so I had to keep doing bits for her, and those parts I quite enjoyed. And once I purchased it for the 360, I found it a lot scarier than what I remembered. I didn't remember having to deal with scary monsters at any point when I played it on the Wii. So truth be told, I stopped playing this because I got a little bit scared. But fourth game is my ultimate guilty pleasure. It's by no means a good game. It's by no means a game I would encourage people to buy. And that is Bullet Witch. The story goes, it was Christmas time, probably around 2009, 2010. We went into game in York, actually, when we were visiting my family for Christmas. And it was £10. It was only £10, and at the time we didn't have a lot of 360 games, and you know, being a girl, I kind of saw this femme fatale sort of thing going on the cover and thought that might be my sort of game. In theory it is my sort of game, but the mechanics are dreadful for this game. They really, really are. There's just too much to try and do in a very short space of time if you want to change your magic or if you want to change your weapon or whatever. And the movement is very old school movement. Like I say, it's a very guilty pleasure. I've only ever got to chapter 2. I've never progressed past chapter 2. So that's Bullet Witch. So like I say, so far I'm not really saying that these games are what you should own. If you're looking for suggestions as to what to get for the 360 collection, if you're a collector, these 4 so far aren't that brilliant, but that's just my opinion. Game number 5, another guilty pleasure, and I don't know a lot about the series, so I can't make any comparisons, but it is Kingdom Under Fire Circle of Doom. This was one of the very first 360 games we owned. When John purchased the 360 many moons ago, I think we only had like 3 games. I think we bought a 3-game bundle, if I'm remembering rightly. And this was one of the 3 games. And truth be told, I don't really know how to explain this game. I'm not really sure what sort of genre it falls under. It's unique. I think that's the only word I can really think of. It's a very unique game, and I think it is worth a try if you're looking for something niche and different, something you're not necessarily used to. But I think it's just weird. It is a weird game, and I never really 100% understood what I was meant to do, or what the end goal was, what the storyline was. I was a little bit dazed and confused by it all. But I really like the atmosphere of the game. It's very fantasy, gothic-esque. So I do recommend it. If you can find it dirt cheap, then pick it up. I don't see why not. Now, the 4th and 5th game, I'm going to do these together, are, I think, Xbox 360 essentials. I really, really do like these games, and that is 99 Nights and 99 Nights 2. I do believe 99 Nights 2 you could get on the PS3, but at the time we were 360 players, so we got it on the 360. Whether or not this is available to buy anymore, I don't know. But both these games are brilliant hack-slash games. I never experienced any loading issues, because back in the days of the 360, if there was too much going on your screen, loading issues did become apparent, but I never experienced that. These are perfect hack-slash games. If you just want to blow off some steam, you don't necessarily want to pay attention to what you're doing, these games are what you can do that with. They kind of remind me of like Dynasty Warriors, all that sort of stuff, but these are, again, very unique, very different. And there's not really much more to say about them. Again, because this is a 360 only game, I must mention that this is a 360 only game. Yeah, because there you go, Microsoft. But because this is an essential, I kept it, and it only seemed fitting to keep its sequel. So those are 2 that I really enjoyed, and I do recommend if you haven't got them already. So number 6, this is very rare, very good, and that is Tales of Vesperia. Again, if you're an RPG fan, if you don't have this, then you're doing life wrong. This is the first Tales game I ever played, and oh, I fell in love with it. I didn't finish it on my first playthrough, I must admit. I got about halfway through and then I got totally distracted by another game. But the main reason we've kept this is because it's so rare. I don't know about North America, I don't know about other parts of the world, but over here in the UK, you cannot find this brand new and sealed. If someone has got a brand new sealed copy, they're sitting on a freaking gold mine. Because once upon a time, I was stood in the queue at Game, and I looked over to the wall of 360 pre-owned copies. This was sat there, the only one, mind, one copy, solitary, sat there with a price tag of £22 pre-owned. I've never seen a pre-owned game fetch for that much in store. So if you haven't got it, good luck. If you have got it, then good on you. I think it's a brilliant game. If you have a copy and you didn't enjoy it, then give it to someone who will appreciate it, because this really is a hidden treasure in my mind. I don't really know why I've still got this. Again, every intention of finishing it, though I don't think I ever will. And that's The Last Remnant. I think out of all of the RPGs that were to come out in this era, so again 2009, something like that, this was by far the worst. It had an interesting battle system and I enjoyed it, but there was nothing engaging about the game that made me want to play through right to the end. I couldn't even tell you where I left off. If you're an avid collector, you're obsessed, you have to have everything, then alright, knock yourself out, go and get it. But I really don't think this was worth me getting to start with. I think now that I have it, I want to keep it, but it wasn't worth buying. I don't think we bought it brand new. I hope we didn't buy it brand new. We probably did, but never mind. Okay, so whilst in the realm of RPGs, I might as well bunch all of those RPG style games together. We're going to move on to the best RPG of the 360 era. Honestly, I think the best. Lost Odyssey. I think if you've heard of Lost Odyssey already, then you know all there is to know about it. My opinion doesn't sway too differently from others. I really do think it's the best on the 360. It's what Final Fantasy 13 should have been. This was the Final Fantasy game that everyone was hoping for and never got. But yes, like I say, the best RPG of the entire 360 franchise, and that's exactly why I've kept it. Again, not very easy to come by at the moment. Also, I've not 100% finished it. I keep screwing up. Like, you've got to ride some sort of giant monster at some point in the ocean, and you've got to try and get all the treasures or something. I can't remember, but I've not done that. So that's one of the reasons I've kept it. Next up is Star Ocean 4. Again, my feelings for this game almost echo my feelings for this game. Two very different style of game, totally different really. They're both RPGs, but they both have very unique or differentiating characteristics. I honestly do think that for anyone who hasn't played this really is missing out. Far better than Star Ocean 5, might I add. So if you've seen my Star Ocean 5 unboxing and how excited I was about that, those feelings didn't last for very long, unfortunately. It was too damn short. This, on the other hand, I think my current playthrough on the PS3 copy, so yes, I've got a PS3 copy as well, I've racked up 200 hours, and that's just on the PS3 data. So this one, ooh, probably in and around the same amount of hours. So plenty to do on this game. If you haven't got 200 hours to spare, then I can see why that would be a turn-off. But I really do think this was one of the better games, again, for that era of RPGs. The only drawback to this game is there's one particular move that one character can do. He uses a scythe and he can do like really high combo attacks and things like that. But at one point, one of his really high level attacks, it's called Dragon Roar, it lags the game out if you're unlucky. Like I say, if it doesn't happen all the time, but if you're unlucky, it can actually lag the game out and crash. I never experienced that problem myself, but I've seen it happen to others. So like I say, that's the only drawback. I think this is on also multiple discs, 3 discs, didn't show you very well. So again, another drawback to this game. When you want to go from a planet on disc 3 back to a planet that's on disc 1, you have to swap the discs out, which really is a bit of a bummer, but you know, this was back in the infant stages of the 360, it couldn't be helped. So yes, another game I highly recommend. Nioh. We kept Nioh because we bought this brand new many moons ago, and only I played it. Me and John went half and half on it, but I was the only one who played it, and I loved it. I really, really, really loved it. But we've kept it because it's another game that has become very rare and hard to come by. I have got Nioh on the PS3, but it's not a PAL copy. It's a North American copy, Region 1. So therefore, that just is a little detail that bugs me. I want a Region 2 copy, but I don't think I'm ever going to find one. So this is a PAL copy, and I've kept it because not very easy to come by a PAL copy. So I've kept that with that in mind because I want it. I do recommend that game also. So still sticking with RPGs, sorry, there's only a couple more to go, and that is Infinite Undiscovery. This received really, really mixed reviews. I personally loved it. I really, really, really loved it. This was, in fact, the first Square Enix RPG I played on the 360. Funny story, John and I were still playing on a standard definition portable TV. So I was playing this game and I was kind of scratching my head like, John, there's something not right with this game. You know, a few days had gone by of me trying to play this game. There's something really off with it. Like, the writing's really small. I can't read it. It's fucking shit. Let's take the game back. Maybe let's just get rid of it. And then one day we decided to maybe have a little look at the back, and we realised it said HD TV, and we thought, doesn't help we're not playing it on HD TV. But that was something that will always stick out in my mind. I thought the game was broken, and it wasn't. I'm broken. But the game itself, again, that's also on multiple discs. Oh, it's on 2 discs. Where's the second disc? It's in the console. I recommend it as an RPG game to anyone who is into them. Or JRPG, sorry. I do recommend this highly. I'm not going to guarantee you that you'll enjoy it. that's down to personal preference, but I really did. Last one now of the RPGs. We've still got a couple more games to go, but this is the last one, and that is Eternal Sonata. Again, you can get this on the PS3, but it doesn't have trophy support, I don't think. And again, that's something that bugs me slightly. So that's pretty much the only reason I've kept this, because it has achievement support. And I did enjoy it. I must admit, I never completed the post-game dungeon, because as the game progresses, the battle system kind of upgrades itself. There's like 4 levels of the battle system in terms of how you manipulate the controls. And by the post-game dungeon, it completely turns it on its head. Like, there's something that makes it very hard, and I can't remember those details exactly, but it becomes next to impossible to play, at least for me it did. I might have to go back and play it again, just so I can be sure. Do I recommend it? Probably not. It's not an amazing game. It's quite a short game. If you like Chopin, as in the pianist, you're going to like this, because it's got loads of Chopin music in here, and I won't say much more than that. But I did enjoy it. That's all I can say. I did enjoy it. Another game I still have, why I still have it is anyone's guess, and that is Onichambara Bikini Samurai Squad. And honestly, why did I keep this? Because it's ridiculous. Girls in bikinis killing zombies. This again is hack and slash. It's not particularly difficult. It's just a bit of fun. There's a lot of stuff in this I haven't achieved or completed, because it's very arcadey. I think these are primarily like arcade-based games, and I recently finished, or I even traded it in, I haven't got it anymore, Onichambara Z2. That was also good fun. So I think if you just want something to kind of break the ice with, if you want to get into those sort of games, you could probably pick this up for a couple of quid and try it out, or you could get it on the Wii, whatever. Not a high recommendation, but I have fun with it for what it's worth. So lastly, by no means least, the last game that me and John decided to keep, now with good reason, is Clive Barker's Jericho. We walked into a game branch that was inside Debenhams. Very strange. I've never seen a branch of game inside a department store before, but even still, we went in, browsing around, we were bored, waiting for like my mother or something, and we saw this on the shelf with a big yellow sticker on it, £5, and we kind of had to scratch our head and rub our eyes and say, is that really what it says, £5? So we thought, do you know what, even if it's shit, who cares? £5 is a freaking steal, so we bought it. John crapped himself playing this, and me watching John get scared made me scared. So I'm actually still yet to play this, and that's why I've kept it. Not necessarily recommend it, but when you consider the circumstance of how little we paid for this, I really do think it was worth keeping hold of. Not to mention, it's Clive Barker. You know, I like his work, so I thought I might as well support him by at least owning a copy of the game. There we have it. That's all that remains of my Xbox 360 games. Well, mine and John's 360 games. Are there any in there that you remember playing? Are there any that you liked or disliked? Like, as I say, I enjoyed the majority of them. I've kept them for the sake of keeping them, really, if I'm honest. Give the video a like if you enjoyed watching this. I know I actually really enjoyed making it. It's brought back some memories. Subscribe and press your notifications button, then you'll know about it when I make another video very similar to this. Give a shout out to Johnny Millennium over at the Happy Console Gamer. Recently, he's been a big confidence boost for me, and he's given me a lot of inspiration lately. So I want to say thanks to Johnny. To you guys for watching. Stay tuned, I'll be back soon. Bye!